afternoon, friends and students. As part of our AGI Mentor Hub, today I would like to introduce architect Deepak Mehta, the principal architect of Deepak Mehta Architects, a firm that was established in 1985. Post his graduation, Mr. Mehta worked under industry stalwarts like Porous Master and Hafiz Contractor, where he was exposed to the practical aspects of the profession. His passion for architecture knows no boundaries, and he believes in creating architecture for people. An architecture that is not only aesthetic and efficient, but is climate responsive and identifies with the end user. His 35 years long career has been a fruitful journey, and he firmly believes that there is no substitute for hard work. He is the winner of one of the most coveted awards for excellence in architecture in 2016 from the Indian Institute of Architects. Today, through his presentation, Architectural Design and Conceptualization, he will share his experiences and a few of his projects highlighting the approach and context to building design. So over to you, Mr. Mehta.
Thank you very much, Swati. And thank you again for Aditya College Group for inviting me on this webinar and giving this my journey of life in architecture and some of the projects, what I will be showing you. The projects I will be showing you, mainly I have focused on the young architects, the aspiring, and the students. Particularly when they start their practice or during the college time also, what is the thing they should look into it and how they can take up their career further. I think architects are created by their own destiny. That is karma. If you look at our own stalwart, Baby Doshi, he also was not intending to become an architect. But we all know where his destiny is taken today, receiving the topmost World Architecture Award. So, same thing was with me. Honestly, in my family, there were no architects. We are from Gujarati business family. So at that time, we all were into some other field of business. But my distant cousins, they were into some engineering and mechanical and electrical and all. So I was in my young, age, I thought it is, we will take up some engineering, some kind of a thing. Passing the 12th, I wanted to join some engineering, but somehow due to entrance exam and all this thing, I cannot do it. So then I joined BSc first year, and 1 month was already over in that. I was in Khalsa, and they required some school living certificate. Where I was there, I did my 12th, from the school that time. So I went to the school. The principal asked me what I'm doing. I said, sir, I'm into BSc. But he says, why are you not taking up some art or architecture or fine arts or graphic? I said, what for, sir? I was just asking him. So I said, you are very good at drawing and music, and I used to represent school. So I said, okay, let me try that. I went to Academy of Architecture. Believe me, today students are trying for NATA and going for all kind of, this thing. I walked in academic architecture, and my admission was immediately given on my school certificates. Now, I thought, chalo, let me try, into architecture. I went over there. First year of architecture in academy, there was some strike. Due to that, we were all promoted. Still in first year architecture, I was thinking to join some engineering college. But I said, fine, now the destiny is there, and I might have to become an architect. So I started with the second year. In this, how your turning point in your career, in your life, in your college happens. Second year, the design principal, the design professors, they gave me the whole class a design project where we have to design a children's play area with only matchboxes using that. I said, okay, let me try. I was absolutely no clue about what is this and what not, and I took matchbox and wrapped it around with sandpaper to give a sand effect and all this thing, and I uh, presented. But again, I tell you, your own talent when it comes out and when you can really expose that is up to you. My that project, somehow the volumes and spaces and all this were created. The professors, the time Porus Master and Purohit, and they were my design professors, they liked it so much, they gave me highest marks in the class. I thought, what is this? Even I'm telling you honestly, I did no efforts. I did not take any of help, anything I took on my own. And this way, then I thought it's better for me to be into this and continue this architecture. Second to fifth year, I did all the design, scored in all the design subjects good, because our own internal talent, which comes out automatically, we don't have to do. Only there was some teachers and some people to recognize our talent. That's what, helped me out, honestly. But along with this academy, along with our college, I was working right from first year. First year, summer vacation, I went to some interior firm and they paid me 75 rupees only as my stipend. I said, fine, no issue. And secondly, again, I joined some firm. So second, third, fourth year, I was working with, say, something like 200 rupees and 300 rupees of my summer as well as part-time. Morning was a college and afternoon around 2:30 I has to go there. This practical experience has really helped me a lot. From working from first year at the age of 18 or something 19, and till all the 5 years has given me such a tremendous confidence. Apart from college, this practical has, given me third year. I was in some architect's office, Sudhakar Dokne. I did a center line drawing, which I made a big mistake. I don't know how. I was not able. I never done. And then I was corrected again, and then I gave it, and that was executed at site. Went to the site, checked it, and this confidence has really, apart from our regular college and academy, this has really helped me a lot. As I tell you, there is a syllabus in our college, in our academy. Same thing is a syllabus in a practical experience, which again I got it tremendously after passing out my final year in architecture, I joined architect office contractor. That time, as we say, don't select a job, don't select a office, but I would say select a boss. That has really joining in office gave me a tremendous boost. What they taught me what is a real hard work. I used to work almost 14 hours a day. Morning around 8 o'clock, I used to reach, and night after 10 or something, we used to leave. And regular practical experience of architecture is there. But apart from that, this all has really taught me. After 3 years in office contractor's office, we were very few of them, but it was good. A lot of projects we were able to handle it, going out to Delhi, here, Mumbai, elsewhere, big, large tower buildings, interiors, everything we handled with a less staff. A small office was it was. That gives you a good experience to handle the projects. After 3 years, I got a good confidence to start my own practice. 3 years actually is not enough for any architect to take experience in architect's office. But somehow, with my past 5 years of part-time working during college and office's office, I got a confidence. I started on my own. Honestly, I didn't had any much projects over there. Some small interiors we were doing. But right from beginning, I was more interested in a building architecture in our regular what we have been taught in the colleges. That was I was interested. So we used to go out, beg to all the new prospective clients, just barge in their office and request him, sir, please give me a work, please give me a project to design. A lot of projects we are not even charged. They just wanted to, take some of the projects in our bag and start working on it. After that, I started my office with a rented premises of only 125 square feet, I believe. 125 square feet with only 4 5 people, maybe. And then we were doing projects in Mumbai, elsewhere, outside, and Nasik, and all those places, Devlali, and all. After 4 5 years, we 1991, I believe. I'm telling you this particular or two, I don't recollect. There was a competition of Mahindra and Mahindras. Mahindra and Mahindra started their first project they ventured into real estate with this first project, which was some factory in Ghatkopar, and they invited some 5 architects or 6 architects in that competition. Office contractor was there, Premnath was there, and some other few people were there. So I took part in that. I was absolutely new, like a fresher. But honestly, that confidence has helped me a lot by taking part into that taking part in that competition, where I gave a design of an apartment. They were like a builders, like Mahindra and Mahindra. They started the first project, which is now Mahindra Life Space. We all know. So I gave a design where each and every flat were almost 180 to 270-degree open. There were cross ventilation to each and every room, and the plot was an industrial area, so we have to do a lot of, there was, as per the law at that time, we have to use a lot of open spaces on the side and fit up the building over there. So my other competitors, they tried to fit up, but with our design of such a nice, apartment design, as well as we tried to give them an extra almost 1 lakh square feet. The project was approximately 3 lakh square feet, and we gave them 1 lakh square feet more. Now, this was a builder's project. I would say again, all of you, we have to look at the client also. If he is not profitable, is our project is not feasible, he will not make money, he will not give you the work. So we have to work on design as well as apart from design, we have to work also on this visibility, the profitability, and all this kind of. Very important, this project has taught me, which we all have to know, the bylaws. It was an industrial, so at that time, 22 meters, we all have to live from the side. But in the bylaws, building bylaws, there was one loophole which allowed me a less open space. There was averaging of open space or something like that, and that we took an advantage and we consumed more FSI. The plot was in Ghatkopar right on the flight path. So we can't have more than 7 floors. That time, even overhead tank and overhead lift machine room, we had not taken it. It was everything we had given on the up to 7th floor. We stopped over there. So this project gave me a good confidence. After that, uh, my design work encounter, we had many of them, but mainly the New Bombay was developing. Charles Correa had made uh, master plan of New Bombay, and during that time, it was developing in a big way. And for us, it was we are fortunate we had lot of projects over there, and all were very different. Some of them have really become a landmarks over there even today, after so many years. So there we started with uh, many projects, but one of them, good one, was Sea Breeze and Sagar Darshan. Now you can see the location. My cursor shows the Sea Breeze, and also there is a Sagar Darshan Tower. Palm Beach Road, it was a new road coming up, and there was a sea view. It was a fantastic location, and we had this towers. There are 19 towers, left hand side and right hand side. You can see some of them. Now, I just wanted to say how we all architects come to a conclusion how to design or how to start a concept. We all are confused. Like, suppose, I've been given a project and we say, okay, now I want, this is my brief, the client says. Now we all confuse how to come up with a design and how to start a design. So the concept, according to me, is mainly in the site context itself. If you look at the site, you find the solution. Okay. Now, here my sea view and my site and beautiful, because here advantage was the plot was not so wide, so we can have the in a row of the towers facing the sea view seaside. So we tried to take up each and every tower. In this, you see it was in staggered fashion, where the landscape and gardens was it become a part of it, and it becomes as a buffer zone also. There was privacy between the two towers, and the backside we created a parking by itself. So by looking at this, uh, we thought uh, to take advantage of beautiful location, and at that time there were all buildings mainly in Mumbai and elsewhere, everywhere. The buildings were typically box type, so we wanted to give something out of the box. kind of a just thing. So we try to give terraces to each and every living room. Let me repeat, each and every living room. So how to give that? Here we can see, this is my typical sixth floor plan, where we can see terrace on the fourth floor, fifth floor, only living terrace was there, and then on the seventh and eighth floor. This way, the living was sliding behind and open to sky terrace, which we wanted to go because that time terrace was even today the terrace is real luxury because there are hardly any balconies. All balconies were enclosed and nothing outdoor spaces. We wanted to bring this outside inside, outside to be taken in the living room so they can come out, sit out in the place, and enjoy the beautiful sea view. By doing this, we have slided the living room right from fourth floor to the 15th floor. It was very difficult, and that time I can tell you this is how it was. At top floor, you can see this is 14th floor, where the terraces below are this fourth, fifth, sixth, sideways somewhere we have taken, and sometimes the kitchen was slided back, and the toilets also was slided back. So some services were also at the back side. Again, let me tell you, when we were doing this work, there were no MEP consultants employed. Of course, they were available, but clients said we can't do it. No MEP consultant, no HVAC. Structure also, we only have to look into mine. And worst part was, at time, there was no CAD, no computers, no softwares, what we people are working now. It was only handmade drawings. This was just about presentation, we have made it, but all were handmade drawings by keeping tracing about tracing, so that we see the lower floor layers, how it is affecting. And this is the way we completed this project. It has come out too good, and by creating terraces, here we can see right from fourth floor, the terraces are going upwards, and the upper floor is like it is like coming from the sideways. This was the elevation which was going on the concept that time of classical and all those things. Here we can see the left hand side is the photograph of a model, and the right side is an actual image constructed over site. We can see some of the upper floor supported by these columns. And this is the pocket terraces open to sky, which was created to have my concept. Yeah, sorry. So this way, the concept is derived right from the site itself and the context of the site. We don't have to go out and do some kind of and I mean to use some other ideas outside or go from Pinterest or somewhere else and find some building and put it on the site. You have most of your solutions right in the site itself. So this way, we did many projects in Navi Mumbai. 3 or 4 years in that time, our market share was around more than 85 to 90%. We did many commercial buildings, which it'll be difficult for us to show everything today. And after that, we got another break to take up the projects in Chennai. That time it was Madras. Our client wanted us to come over there and do some projects. Again, I will tell you, it was very difficult time for any architects from Mumbai to go out and do the work, especially at far away distance like Chennai or Madras, what you call that time, because there was no email, no internet, no the drawing has to be handmade, I mean by hand, and we have to send it to by courier. And I will show you some of the projects we have done it by sending the details through fax. On A4 side, we used to make sketches and we used to send it by fax, and which was gone over there, and the project was completed. And today also, they are some of the landmarks. We had many projects in Mumbai. They were all builders and developers. But for you all, I wanted to show you some projects where how the conceptualization of the our design was taken care of. Now here we can see this building. This was in something 97, 98. Now it was a very, very narrow plot. I'm sorry, this is a sketch. We only got it somehow because due to lockdown, I'm not able to access the drawings. Now we are opened, of course. But we can see because of the narrow plot, the frontage I wanted to give, we was abutting a good road over there. I wanted to give something different. Now, how to come to a concept? At that time, see my cursor, we used to carry drawing rolls, in my hand, we must be having the drawing roll. And, at that time I saw the roll was just coming out from one of the side. And with two rolls in the hand, I thought, why don't we try this concept? See this cursor, how it goes. And there was this spike in the center, which become like a crown. And with this, we tried with our golden ratio Fibonacci sequence to use the site design and everything. And that way, this perspective, what we can see is a handmade perspective. That time there was no 3D, there was no what we see nowadays, all this computer aided drawings.
Excuse
We
me,
had to
sir.
make plot, and I wanted to give some sculptural effect, uh, some kind of icon, to be created over there. So I was carrying this drawing roll in my hand, and suddenly uh, the concept, as I can say, or the inspiration, just started coming out. Why don't I try some kind of this design? And here we can see this was a handmade uh, perspective created, and on those lines we worked out this plan. And because we can't do much over here, so we had this open kind of floating staircase, an entrance lobby foyer, and the lifts and everything. This is how an actual building was created at site, almost the same lines, and today also it is coming over there. My point is only that we can the concept is derived, by by keeping our eyes and mind open. Somewhere it is from the site, somewhere it is from I was getting a drawing roll in my hand, and suddenly I thought, why don't I try this one? Very interesting. The spike you can see, which is bright red in color, you know that time red, or even today red, is very, very difficult to use by any architects. So we were standing on the site, and then suddenly a red Ferrari passed by, and my client was distracted, and he said, "See, Deepak, this Ferrari, what a beautiful!" And I thought, why don't I try with this red color on the top as a crown? And this is how the crown was created, red, and it is today also really talk of the town. The red crown building wala, the cow wala, it is over there. So point is, you derive the inspiration, derive the concept from anything. Keep your mind open, keep your eyes open, and you can get it. But this is all aesthetic concept, honestly. But architectural concept mainly comes right from the context of the site or the brief the client gives you. This is another building we have done in Chennai again. Now here it was abutting 200 feet wide road. So how to create an icon? and how to really, make a statement of your building, which is, on the beautiful road coming out. So we tried with 108 feet high atrium. This is a actual picture, I'll tell you. You can see this 108 feet high atrium. Now, this atrium, so the, the person enters from here. This is called a bubble atrium. There was a small, because of the volume we wanted to create, there is a small entrance lobby, and then there's a large atrium from where there are this glass lift planking up and down going there. So this building, a statement is also created this way. Again, this is an aesthetic, of course, but apart from that, it is part of the structure. It becomes a huge entrance lobby kind of an effect, the volume created inside, and it creates a good, a statement by itself. Then competition. Let me tell you, sometimes we are scared of taking part in competitions, especially when it is an international competition. This project at Dubai, it was a kind of a close competition held by the client, and he wanted to take us to give us some kind of a design which is different. And there were some foreign architects, some Indian architects also to be part of it. This is Aura Marina on Marina, Dubai. This is an actual picture of the site. On the left hand side, this is taken from our building balcony. This is what the marina. Marina is a most landmark area, artificially created water body for yachts and the boating and all those facilities created there. We can see this natural, the curvature, the road which is passing by, and the right side is the marina water. This water is extracted right from the sea and used for yachts to be parked there, and they can go out onto the sea and use it. We tried to create this same marina as my concept. The marina water, as any water, creates ripples, or we can say waves. This water ripples was transformed on the building by means of our decks, or we call balconies, large balconies. I wanted to make this water ripple right from this water to earth onto the building and to be merged with the sky. Here we can see the actual picture, how these water waves were created, how these balconies were created. On the right side is an actual thing. So by creating this, I wanted to create an organic structure. The whole concept was taken into that fashion. By giving this large decks, what we see here, it was double height and single height decks created there. Due to the waves effect, we created alternate waves intersecting each other. So somewhere the deck was having a double height and somewhere it is single height. Double height was to be used as mainly winter deck. So they had a very good winter over there. And right from October, November to February, they had a good winter. So they can use double height over there. And single height was used during the harsh summer. So by creating this water waves kind of an effect on the building by means of balconies and deck, we somehow able to form this so the occupant can use whatever way, during whatever their mood they can use in both ways. either in summer or winter or double height or single height. So this was created, and nice winter decks and sunbathing was to be used over there for barbecues and relaxation and then all those things. Here we can see the floor plan, balconies and decks. The planning was also very difficult over there. Lower floor were having one bedroom, then two bedroom, and then by merging we had three, and then duplexes and all those things. This is a deck we can see, and here we can see the intersection of two decks. This is an actual picture how the balconies, decks, and the waterways, how this intersection. Here we can see double height. Here is a single height. This is the waves effect we can see during night hours. Also the reflection, how it comes over there. On the right hand side is the cloud effect of the building taken up. So this was in Dubai, and it was a pure competition which we took part over there. We won it, and when we gave the design to the Dubai municipality for approval, also they liked it very much, and they said that they really want some kind of an asset to be created over there. This is the way we have done it. This is a picture again. So again, to tell all of you, the concept is derived right from the site. Here, the site context was the marina water. We took that wave, we transformed it by means of balconies and decks, which was taken upstairs. And this is a perspective handmade, we have done it. And the right hand side, we can see the actual buildings. This is another building we have taken up in Chennai, which we received an II award for excellence in architecture. You must be knowing in India there are very few actual awards to be given to architects where a stringent scrutiny of your entries to be done by more than 20-21 architects over here, all leading architects of India. They were jury over here, and they stringently went and checked up the design criterias, the concept and everything. Here again, the site was a very beautiful site. We can see Bay of Bengal over here. The site is here, and the backside there was a backwater lagoon, which was called as a Buckingham Canal. This is a site condition. Again, we wanted to take advantage of the site and how to take these beautiful views and how to take up the sea views as part of my design. Here we can see again the sea view, the backwater view, the building location, which was amazingly good. And this is the site what was given to us. The problem over here was that the site, due to the CRZ zone, it was a narrow site, and again due to CRZ, we have to live. We can see 12 meters from the CRZ zone, and at the back side again, there was CRZ high tide line. So we have to design our building within this. We have to consume the client's FSI. This was a builder's project. Client FSI to be consumed, as well as we have to take advantage of the fantastic location. Now, how to give this? So, if I had done this regular rectangular building, so hardly I could have given some 4-5 rooms only the sea view, and the rest would have been at the back side. So we tried with this type of angular. Then we finally developed into this where we can see most of the rooms or almost all the rooms were having sea view as well as they were having the rare lagoon view, which was very, very difficult to obtain it because of the narrow width of the plot and because of the CRZ implicated. I will show you the next slide. Yeah, sorry. Here we can see the sense of openness, like how the rooms are located, and each and every apartment was almost 180-degree open. With the constraint of the site, with the narrow width of the plot, again we tried to give this type of a solution, which has really come out very well at site. This is a site plan actual with the landscaping also complementing with our angular pattern of the design, the flooring pattern, everything goes in that lines. This is an actual floor plan, how it is taken. We can see the 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 orientation and especially the size and rooms and the opening up on the both side of living dining. Somewhere even the toilets were getting the nice view where we have tried to take the whole window right to the bottom of the floor and given over there a bathtub or something bathing area so that they can enjoy a real sea view because of there was a full privacy and there was no building nearby. Here we can see to achieve the maximum view and the climatically, I wanted to give some kind of a natural shaded pattern. So the cuboids were juxtaposition in such a way. Here we can see, okay, this is my sketch, and here we can see the upper and lower floor were created self-shading to avoid the 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 harsh weather of the Chennai as well as the glare of the sea. This is created for that reason. Here we can see how the buildings are taken care of and how this is an actual image of the cuboids, moving in and out and creating these balconies, which are again shaded, which is useful in that weather. These are the actual views created because of this, where all the rooms were getting this view. The sun path was studied during whole hours how the building get a self-shaded self-shaded of the whole building onto the room. And here this is to avoid glare of the sea. This was helping this way. Cross ventilation to all the rooms, almost practically each and every room. And apart from sea view, cross ventilation. This is an angle design. The clubhouse merged with the landscape. This is a picture. Now, again, an international competition which we have won for our Indian embassy at Maldives. Here, I'm not showing much of the design input, but here also the concept was very different, and it was a competition taken part by some 6 to 7 international architects, and in that we have won, and the project is very much on the final stage of approval, and we are going to start immediately within some time. Same way, this was another project for embassy in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia, where it was very interestingly, we have taken all our Indian heritage, all our culture, lot of our Indian themes and that part of it, because we wanted our Indian architecture, Indian heritage, to be an ambassador by means of our design into this embassy. It's a beautifully done up concept over there. I will show you some slides how we derived the concept. The site was clean, neat square, absolute square. We wanted to use some of our vastu also, because since it was a square, we want to take advantage of that, which we converted into 9 squares. 9 square represents our Navgraha. Again, my Indian context, which I wanted to transfer into a foreign land. Here we can see how opening out of the Brahmastan was created in the center. Then, as per the requirement, we had a chancery. Chancery is their office area, and there is a residence over there. So we have created this kind of, which is also useful for wind direction, wind flow, and all those things. And there were 4 squares created. So how a site also can be used, for deriving a concept, and how we can fit up our requirement and brief within that context itself. This is how it was done. The blue shows the chancery. The yellow at the back is the residence to be used by them. And there were green areas, and all the 4 sides was a road. We use Indian context as our concept, architectural fusion, with Indian and Islamic architecture, climate responsive design, sustainable was very important thing. We use some subsoil cooling system and everything over there. And this is the way technology also was part of our design. These are some of them. On the right hand side, we can see how the moat water was taken because of the heat and weather, and how the cool air was taken into the sloping walls. The sloping walls represent our Indian fort over there. There were jalis taken over there, and how the cool air is then taken up and used. This is the way we have tried with this alternative. This is another project completed in 6 months, by sitting in Mumbai. Again, a competition project in Maldives where they wanted a food court. So, right from start to inception to completion, it took only 6 months. It is all a combination of concrete and MS steel and metal and all this. Here we can see a completed photograph. Now we are designing a very interesting building, which is almost for the first time in India, looks like a twisted building. We can see on this left hand side, the perspective is a twisted building, but building is straight. The floors we can see on the right hand side becomes the effect of the twist. Why we have taken this? Because the plot was abutting with the 3 side of a major road and some kind of a timeless masterpiece we wanted to create. This again was a competition project. Client invited some 5 to 6 architects from India. They were all leading architects, and we have got this project. It is an absolutely simple, neat, clean structure, but it becomes a sculptural piece by giving its own statement. How the building on an intersection of 3 major roads should come out at any angle, anywhere you can see this twist. So this is the first twisted building. Plans are approved now. Immediately now we'll be starting the work. And this is the way this twisted building was created. As I explained you, it is a futuristic, timeless. The twist of 3 degrees at every floor, totaling to something 39 degrees of total, creating a sculpture in a cityscape, and by itself becomes a 3 dimensional. With the rotation of the floor plate becomes a 3 dimensional. So wanted to explain to all of them how a concept is derived right from the site context, somewhere from keeping just your eyes and mind open, and somewhere by what we want to really give. And this is the way we have tried to solve the design problems, how to start design and how to come to a concept, and the same thing is completed at the site. Good. Anything else, Nikhil? Any questions?
Participants who are interested for like they have any queries they can ask in the chat box.
Yeah, these are
So
the
there
very
is a
few projects we have shown, but they can go to our website and they can get some of the more projects for they can use. I am receiving from Surbi.
yes sir. There is a question
Uh,
from Surbi like you have used glass in majority of your buildings. How do you propose to make it sustainable, considering
yeah,
today's need of sustainability?
yeah. This actually all the buildings, as I showed you, some of the buildings are glass. The glass itself, is a highly sustainable material. Why? I'm telling you by means of what? You can have E-value glasses where 95% of the ultraviolet rays are being blocked. So that way the energy has been saved, and that way, I'm sorry, low E-value glass, and that way energy is saved, air conditioning is saved, and the heat is not taken inside. So glass itself is a very, very good material. It is modern, it is futuristic. Of course, it is what we have not used, but it is one of the best material we can. And apart from that, within that, we can create lot of things, not only glass, by means of ventilations and lot of things can get created, and it can make a building sustainable by itself.
There is a next question from Nandini Menon. Like, what is your take on the current situation, and what changes would you make to your designs considering the pandemic of COVID-19 and
Oh,
social distancing?
very important. Now, actually, with the current situation, I think all architects we have to look at the new design criteria also. Example, I was just sitting at home, working on some residential designs where the new the new work we will have to give it to the developers and builders. I'm talking about them first. Is related to uh, the good planning, then use of work from home culture. Here we are working on a zero wastage architecture, or I can say no waste architecture, where even internal walls, 6-inch walls, we have tried to use within our furnitures or whichever this thing, and how to use all this thing by using very, very less wastage of spaces in the building, in the flat. Also, with this COVID situation, social distancing, of course, outside for office and everything, we have to work out with interiors and designing that. But here, for residences also, work from home. A father will having his own space because they will be using video conferencing. A mother will be using. A child will be using. So there will be a special spaces for work from home design. So we all have to go into that design.
Next
Ishita.
question is from Ishita.
Mhm.
Considering many of your projects have futuristic curvilinear designs, where most of the curves created using segmented glass panels, or did some
Mhm.
of them have specially fabricated curved panels too?
No, not necessarily required. It is all segmented. I mean, I tell you, we have designed a glass facade building something in 1995, I think. 25 years back, there were hardly any glass buildings coming up in India. There we had a facade which was curved and which were using a segmented sections. That segmented mullions which are inside, which are not exposed, can be used, you know. So no need of having a curved glass panels, because curved glass are very, very expensive. And small segments as per the curvature can be created. And as I'm using more of a curve, you must have seen somewhere, like Zahadis has always told, okay, there is a 360-degree, then why we are restricting to some fixed planes? Curvature also gives lot of design statements to our building. So because of that, we are using mainly into that. Apart from that, the design itself becomes more of a fluidity, more of a liquid by nature, and it gives a good concept by itself. Vastu in the projects, or
Yes, sir.
it is up to the client. Manveer, I will tell you, it is up to the client. As of myself, I don't believe in Vastu. My own office is not Vastu, my residence is not Vastu, but by clients, they want it, so we give it. And apart from that, some of the clients, we have projects in South. Believe me, there, one of the project, we had a 1,500 flats or something, I think so. All the apartment were as per the Vastu. So client is our big thing. We have to look at the client, and only then we survive. To survive by means of a profession. So we can do it if the client wants, otherwise we can avoid.
Next question is from Vimala. It's like due to increase in the population growth, and apartment is the only choice as we know of. So what you taken on it, sir, and possible alternative to apartment culture in current context?
See, apartments is going to come up. What we were seeing this into 4 metros has gone to 8 metro cities. Now, in the rural areas also, slowly, apartment only will take up. The sizes will be different. In Mumbai, the real estate prices are very, very high. So the sizes, in 2 bedroom, it has to say 700 or 800 square feet, we have to fit up. In go to small towns, it will fit up in, we can do in 1,000 square feet or more. But apartment has to be done. Second thing, why apartments? Because suppose if you have a large, say, say plot where the client want to put up a bungalows, okay, villas. Now you tell me the whole of the land is totally occupied by bungalows, okay, and the open space of green areas are left out is very, very less and few. Instead of that, you go for an apartment building. I would say go for tower structures. You see the openness, the green area surrounding is tremendous. So a natural green area, a natural oxygen is created everywhere, and this is the way which will be really useful. So future will be apartments, especially in India, because our population growth is tremendous. And to house all of them, we'll have to go for apartment culture, and maybe with the high rises. What is next?
What space ratio you suggest indoor versus outdoor for any project?
So indoor versus outdoor, no?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. See, 1 second. I'm making some sketch over here, so it will be useful for me. See, for I'm talking about the land and the plot. The question is for plot or inside of an apartment. I don't know, but I'm talking about a land. Now, if you have a land over there, I would say the plinth area, the ground coverage area of a building should be not more than 30%. And 70% should be kept open with nice, beautiful landscaping, lot of green areas, lot of I can say we can go into depth of a landscape with a landscape architect and create some trees and vegetations which gives huge oxygen. Now in today's COVID, the one thing we all realize, oxygen matters a lot. Now this is how we can create lot of oxygen areas, lot of green areas, lot of landscaping areas. So I proportionally think 30% to 70% should be the ratio. 30 is constructed and 70 is open. What is
Uh,
this?
what is your
Next.
opinion on BMC norms to be revised for open space
Ah,
considering social distancing?
yes, they will have to consider, not for COVID, but otherwise also, the
Mhm.
BMC, our bylaws, it is very unfortunate for architects like us. It is not designed by architects. They are not designed, I mean the design of the bylaws, I mean to say. They are not formed by architects. They are formed by some engineers or some bureaucrats or some of these people. They hardly know, I'm sorry to say, I'm not criticizing them, but they hardly know what kind of culture we want to live in. What is our the individual style of living in an apartment is. Like suppose you go to suburbs, now they have increased the FSI to 3 and 4, which they should have done it long time back. So the bylaws with the open space, with the social distance, there's a lot of things have to be thought of, and 100% they will have to use with today's situations how to take control of this COVID in future or some kind of epidemic comes, how to take control by this change of bylaws.
Next question is from Ishita. She like to ask which is the better option, a high-rise apartment with an individual garden or terrace, or a large
Hmm.
open space at the ground level for everyone?
See, there should be a large open space. As I'm telling you, 70% is the open space they should keep on the ground level with landscaping. And the tower also, they should allow open to sky terraces. They should allow nice garden apartments. I cannot show you here, but we have done a project in Chennai. It's a beautiful project. Somehow it is not able to start now, where huge terraces, huge open space. The apartment area was 1500 square feet, the covered area, and the terraces were 1000 square feet. Believe me, terraces are 1000 square feet. And this is the way we can create our own oxygen parlor in front of our apartment by creating a landscape garden also over there, as well as there's a large landscape garden at the ground level. So, lot just imagine the greenery we creating, the green space. This is what the need of an hour for the next building.